Hello, hello. Let me flip the camera around. Well, I was gonna go to the Hondo Depot and do train spotting, but as you can see, I can't get to the Hondo Depot because there's a train on the track right now. So I guess our live stream's gonna start from here. I actually been sitting here on the track for about 5 minutes. This is a long train. I don't see anybody in the room now, so I'll just kind of let you sit here and look at the train. So when I googled train spotting, I noticed that you're supposed to get the number of the engine, but I don't know how I got in the middle of the train because this is a long train. It's stretching across the whole town. So I didn't get to see the engine. This thing's been coming through here for 5 minutes. I didn't catch the front of it, and it's still going. I do not see the end yet. So I guess we'll just sit here and chat. So the title of this one was called 9/11, Charlie Kirk, and train spotting, and my grandmother's lilies. Because I went through the whole day. When I woke up this morning, all the stuff going on today, 9/11, Charlie Kirk. I woke up this morning, went out to the backyard, let Eden out there, and my grandmother's lilies were blooming. They haven't bloomed all year. Well, here's the end of the train. There it goes. That was a long one. That was about like 5 minutes there. Or 10 minutes. Well, I caught it in the middle, so it might have been longer than 5 minutes. Because I was sitting here at the tracks before it came through. I got a new mount. It still wobbles a lot. But I wasn't planning on moving on this video. I was planning to be at the depot, and I was gonna do the video stationary, but that 5 to 10 minute train came across the track and it kind of screwed it up. So it's 9/11. We got to remember 9/11, because if we don't remember, people will think it's fake. People won't remember. People will forget. We always got to remember. And then you're doing a big dishonor to all the people that died during 9/11. Sorry for the camera shaking. I know I got a pretty bad mount. And I didn't mean to be having the video actually moving. Let's see. Somebody said hi. Anderson. How you doing, Anderson? Welcome to the chat. So 9/11, well, I guess I could tell you my 9/11 story. I used to be in the Army. I was in the Gulf War, the first Gulf War. And after that, I went to college, and then I joined the National Guard. And pretty much 1 year, and I was infantry. I wasn't like a cook or some paper pusher admin guy. Let's see who else is here. Let's see. I can't read that. Cater, I think it is. So I was infantry. I was actually the one doing the fighting. Then 1 year, I was a National Guard. So I went to Gulf War, got out, went to college. Then I did National Guard for about 3 or 4 years, can't remember. Then 1 year before it's 1 year before 9/11 happened. I got out of the Army, and I started a full-time job working for the state. So my 9/11 story was I already been out of the Army for about a year or two. And hey, Tyler, how you doing? So my 9/11 story is I've been out of the Army a year or two, and I was in Rockport, Texas during 9/11. KW1, how you doing? And so we're staying at the HEB cabins, and back then, really, smartphones weren't really that sophisticated, or we just didn't have one. I don't know. I guess there weren't. Maybe there were some out there, but we just didn't have any. And we stayed at the HEB cabins in Rockport. And back then, those were basic cabins. They just had electricity and AC, and that was it. Let's see, Hafiz. How you doing, Hafiz? And so we would go out fishing every day at the pier on Campano Bay, and that was even more remote. And remember, we didn't have the cell phones we have today, so nothing would come over the cell phones. And plus, I don't even know if we brought them out there or we had them with us. And we fished all day, and I guess we're coming in. Well, we didn't fish all day. We're coming in, and all of that was the only way you could really get your news back then was by radio. Yes, I'm in Hondo right now, live from Hondo. We're gonna go over to the depot. I was gonna catch a train, see if we could catch a train by the depot, but if you caught the beginning, I was stuck at the train tracks waiting for the train to get by. So we already saw the train. There's been at least 7 or 8 trains that came by today in Hondo and Uvalde, so I don't think we'll catch another one. But I was trying to get across these train tracks, and I had to wait about 5 or 10 minutes for the train to go by. So I don't think we'll catch another one up here. But anyways, so my 9/11 story was I was at Campano Causeway fishing, and there's no smartphones back in those days. And so we're leaving you pay a little guy at the shack, like I think back then it was like $5, and then you go fish for as long as you want. You see, it's crowded today up in here. Let me go park over at the end. All these cars are people going to the gym. So we fished all for, well, most of the day, and then we're coming out of there, and the little old man at the shack had a little black and white TV with an antenna on it. That's how long ago that 9/11 was. There's really no smartphones. You can't watch TV on the cell phone you had. It's just pretty much, our cell phones back then were pretty much just text and phone calls. So we go through the shack coming back out, and the old man's watching black white TV, and he says, "Hey," or I say, "What are you watching?" Because he was like really into it. He said, "These planes crashed into this plane crashed into the building." And then we're looking at it, and goes, "Wow." And then we didn't think nothing about it. We're like, oh, okay, yeah, it's pretty bad and stuff, but we thought it was just a plane crash, and we were walking off, and we kind of heard him say another one crashed in there. And still, we would never think anything like that somebody would do that on purpose. So we're like, wow, what is going on? So we go back to the cabin, and we go on with our day, and we're totally isolated. Those cabins out there, I mean, it's not like out in the boonies, but it's out of town, and like I said, there's no internet or smartphones back in those days, so we didn't know what was going on. It wouldn't come over your phone. You wouldn't get any alerts or nothing. So we just thought nothing, and we thought a terrible plane crash and stuff, and crashed in that building. I told Kathy, I said, well, you know what, I'll wake up in the morning and I'll get some breakfast and I'll get the newspaper. See, that's how old I am. I read stuff out of the newspaper. So I'll get the newspaper in the morning and we'll see what happened to those planes. I said, okay. So we kind of just went on our day there at the cabins and, isolated from the rest of the world, fishing and just relaxing out there, catching some sun. You really can't swim there, but we're just relaxing out there. And the next day I woke up, went and got the paper, and I saw the buildings, the planes going in the buildings, and that one picture of that man running. And I brought it back to Kathy, and I said, you know what? Man, that was a terrorist attack, and they crashed those planes into the building. And we're still in shock, like, wow, what happened? And then I remember we kept on going. We're still in shock, and back then, you couldn't comprehend what was going on. Uh, Let me turn off the air conditioner. Maybe it's too loud in the car. And you could not comprehend what was going on, because how could you think of a thing like that? So it's still trying to we're still trying to comprehend it and having it sink in. And we're at this beautiful place in Rockport, just relaxing. And we go out to the pier again to fish and stuff, because that's what we usually do. And we heard everybody out there on the pier just talking on the phones, like, everybody had a lot of uh, patriotism, patriots. There's a lot of patriots that day. And we just heard people like, yeah, I'm going to join the army. I'm signing up. And they're going to the recruiters and stuff, and telling their loved ones, yeah, goodbye. We're going out there and all this. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm just like 1 year out of the army. Should I go back in? Uh, I wasn't too old back then. I was in my 30s. I could have went back in, but I didn't. I figured I already went to one war. That's more than enough. That's enough for one person, one war. And I was infantry, so I decided I didn't want to go back to war, and we'll let the other guys handle that. So that's my 9/11 story. I don't think I ever told it on YouTube before, on a live stream or on a video. So now the other part of my live stream was Charlie Kirk, the title. I was trying to think, what should I do? Uh, what can I do? It's the same situation. It's almost the same situation as that 9/11. You're kind of in shock, like, no, this didn't really happen. What is happening? And uh, you really have to let it sink in for a day or two, uh, of what's going on. I was just checking if my chat was froze. I didn't see it move. Um, so, there's a lot of things that goes through your head. Let's see. Kevin says they are concerned about my workplace because water infrastructure and chlorine. Yeah, yeah. So a lot of things were going through my head. What can I do? When the 9/11 hit, I just I decided I didn't want to go to war again and join back up in the infantry. So I just let them handle it. And then so now we come to this situation. Some guy just talking about Jesus and conservative right wing things at a college. They just decided to go ahead and assassinate him, because he was pretty much assassinated. He got shot from a tall building. They're still looking for that guy. I I think they got a picture of somebody. He looks like a young skinny kid. Who knows? So they're looking for him. So I'm thinking in my head again, what can I do again? I don't want to do nothing again, because I really did nothing during 9/11. And I actually could have. I could have joined. I was only 1 year out of the infantry. I could have joined right back up, but I didn't. So I'm thinking, what can I do? What can I do with this? And I'm not as talented. I'm here on talking on a live stream and stuff. but I'm not as talented as Charlie Kirk at debating people and coming up with scriptures, memorizing scriptures, and being able to argue with people. I don't really even like to argue with people. I can. It has no. I have no problem with it, but I just don't want to. I'm 55 years old, and I just don't want to sit around and argue with people that you're not going to change their mind because they're mentally disturbed. You can't argue with a mentally disturbed person. And and also, I was not a Charlie Kirk follower, so if somebody's going to call me out like, well, you never watched Charlie Kirk, I watched him occasionally, and I can tell you right now, I wasn't a follower. I just uh, followed his page just now, but I did agree with most of the things I agreed with all of the things he said uh, that I saw on the internet. I haven't seen everything because, like I said, I wasn't a follower. Um, but I didn't really agree with him going out there and debating people like he did. Hey, Sock Monkey, how you doing? I really didn't agree with how he goes out there and debates with people and it comes kind of heated and argumentative. I didn't agree with that, but this is right. If he wanted to do that, that's fine. And those people shouldn't become angry and hate him and actually want to do harm to him and actually killed him. So there's I could do nothing like that. So like I said, when 9/11 hit, I didn't do nothing, even though I was in my 30s and I could have joined back up in the infantry and go to Afghanistan. I guess. Well, I probably wouldn't have been sent to Afghanistan. I was just a straight leg infantry, mechanized infantry. I think most of the people they sent there was Rangers and Special Forces. But I could have went. I could have done something. So what I decided on, so I keep going back and forth on that. What I decided on, what I could do for this, what happened to Charlie Kirk is, I'm I'm gonna post something on all my social media. I got this YouTube here and Facebook. That's only two. Oh, and Twitter. But I'm barely on Twitter or X or whatever it's called. So I decided I am going to post something about Charlie Kirk every day for a whole year. And I think that's the best thing we could do. Because that person that shot him was trying to silence him, trying to silence his word. Uh, he did that person did not like what Charlie Kirk was saying and thought, well, I know how I could stop him from. I'll just shoot him, and then he can't say nothing anymore. And if we just leave it at that, or we just go after this guy and throw him in jail or execute him or whatever, it's still Charlie Kirk is gone and his word is gone. But if we all just post one thing that he said or done, because there's a bunch of things I've been looking on the internet, or just even post his picture every day on your social media. I think that is a way how we could win against these evil people, because they're evil. Like I said, I wasn't really into Charlie Kirk, but I've been reading and listening to some of his stuff, and I didn't realize he was such a big Christian, and I believe that's why he got shot. Probably not mostly for his conservative or political views. I think he got shot because he was a Christian, and he would use a lot of things from the Bible to prove his point or back up his message against these people arguing with him. So that's what I'm going to do for a whole year. I will post something on one of my social medias, Charlie Kirk, so that evil demonic person will not win. He will actually lose because his word will get stronger and he will become more popular than he was when he was alive. So that's what I'm going to do in that. And the last part of my title there, I think it got up on there. I think the title was on there. Is my grandmother's lilies bloomed this morning. I went and took Eden out. If you guys don't know who Eden is, Eden is my dog. Well, she's actually our baby girl. Eden's our baby girl, our dog, pet, German Shepherd, German Corgi, I guess. Uh, I took her out. I left her in Uvalde today. Usually I take her to Honda with me, but it's actually our days are getting cooler here in Texas, South Texas, Southwest Texas, uh, and it wasn't going to get past the maybe mid 90s, or I think it just. I left her there. She has a kennel and in there and water and all that, so I left her. So I was taking her out, you know, and the first thing I noticed out there was grandmother's lilies, and they only kind of bloom when there's a lot of rain. We've been getting some good downpours. Uh, that's a strange thing. We've been getting some good downpours every other, I'd say every other week. And those rain lilies never came. I call them rain lilies. They're red. I put a picture on there. I hope it came out. Uh, they're kind of reddish. There's my motorcycle right behind me. Yeah, that was cool. They'll bloom. They seem like they bloom kind of like in the spring, but I notice if they don't bloom early because of drought and stuff. And I what I did, my grandmother had so many that I just threw all the bulbs out in the yard, and they'll come up every once in a while when there's a real good rain. But that's the strange thing. It we had a couple good downpours, even what a flood. It started flooding around here in I guess last month, and they never came up. We got these little white lilies popping up everywhere every time it rains, but that was a strange thing. They just bloomed uh, this morning on 9/11 and the day after Charlie Kirk. So there's always something good, you know. There's always more, you know. It seems like bad is stronger than good, but it's not. It's just when bad things happen, it's I guess we feel it more. And anytime something bad happens, there's good. There's good in the world, and I think uh, this assassination thing is gonna, you know, you hate to say it's gonna have good in it, but I think it's gonna bring the Christians together, because you know the bad people think, you know, the Christians won't do nothing, or the Christians are quiet, and they think they're stronger than us, but they're not. They're weak. That's why the bad and evil people are so loud. They're weak, and they have to yell and scream to make them seem like they're bigger and more, but they're not. We're bigger and we're more. The good Christians of America are, and the news only reports on the bad things. But what if the assassin is a Christian? He is not a Christian. I mean, he's probably Christian, and I mean, there's a lot of people that say that they can be Christian. Oh, I got Kathy calling me. If there's a lot of people that say they're Christian, but if you're not following the word of Jesus, then you're not a Christian. I mean, I could say I'm a donkey, but I'm not a donkey. I could say I'm a woman, but I'm not a woman. You could say you're a Christian, but if you're not following the teachings of Jesus, and you're not following the Bible, uh, you're not. And I don't know where in the Bible it'd say to go shoot Charlie Kirk, and I don't see it anywhere in there. So that's my little take on that. And I will will keep Charlie Kirk's memory and keep going it for a whole year at least. Sorry about my balls. What happened to my balls? So yeah, yeah, you could disagree with me. That's fine. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna get mad at you. So if you commit a sin, you're not a Christian. I sin plenty of times. I probably sinned a couple times today. Uh, but what it is, that person sinned and he is happy about it. If I sin, I'm not happy about it. If I sin, I'll ask forgiveness. That person is not asking forgiveness, or he's just a sinner. So we could get on it and go on, but I only wanted to do 20 minutes of this. So thank you for stopping by, everybody. Uh, uh, you could go ahead and have your differences and not agree with me and whatever, but just keep it civil. Don't get mad at me, and I'm not going to get mad at you at what you guys think. So everybody have a good day. Be kind to each other. If somebody makes you mad, turn the other cheek, smile at them, uh, and just love one of each other. Just love each other. So I'm gonna go. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I will talk to you later. Do another live stream tomorrow. Probably not like this though, but we'll do something more cheerful, I guess, more off topic. Okay, see you guys later. Bye.